What's happening, guys? It's your boy Vasile up in here again with another video, yo. So I want to give a huge shout out to Vibrant Performance. We're running those awesome Vibrant Vengeance clamps. Those are actually very easy to use. You got this little quick connect right here. See that? It's got a spring loaded. See that? You press the spring, and you pull on that, and it comes out. Now, if I do that, my fall. See, it's got a little bar right there. See that? So when you press on the button, and this comes off. See that? It just slides out the bottom right there. See that? And it's got a sleeve. Let me show you guys real quick. Since I don't have a rubber seal. See that? It's got a sleeve. There's a rubber ring that goes on side here, but since I'm not done installing it, I'm just kind of like putting it on there for fab purposes, you know, so I can mock it up. And I'm horrible with doing this with one hand, but just bear with me for a second. So yeah, Vibrant for the win. We got that one on there, and then we got one on the turbo housing. I had to take the turbo housing out and have my friend Marvin Rodesno, shout out to my boy Marvin, whoop, thanks, appreciate that. And then he's gonna weld all my charge piping because he's got a TIG welder, and all I have is a MIG. Can't really quite do TIG weld with that. So plus honestly, he does have more experience with the TIG welding, and that would really suck if I tried to like TIG weld my turbo and then I mess it up, you know, blow a hole through it or something. So that being said, I'm just gonna let him just kind of take a butt. I'm gonna have to fab up all the piping and everything to have them welded. So in order to do that, I got my Vibrant Vengeance right there. We got one on the turbo, so we got two of them. You know, I'm thinking to start off with this one, which is the one in the back. See that? And then do this one right here. So what we're gonna work on now, we got a whole bunch of pipes right here from Vibrant. We got some 90s, some 22, some 45s. Now you got to be very careful with these pipes so you don't scratch them when you take them off. Set them on a very soft pad, and since I'm going to cut them and I don't want to scratch them, I'm gonna have to take some tape. I'm gonna have to tape up this saw, so actually I don't scratch them. See what I'm saying? You see that right there? So I got this rigid. I like rigid. You're gonna have to put some tape right here and tape right here, so that way when you cut it, it's not gonna scratch it, because every time you bang on it, put some tape right here. So we're gonna have to tape that off. So that's kind of what we got going on today, is the charge piping. We got the intercooler mounted, as I showed you guys in the previous video how I did the intercooler. Now I did not show you how I cut the bumper. A lot of people actually like to cut this grill off, and then it's kind of like ruin it because it takes away from the OEM factory. Now, some of you guys may not know, I did paint this car myself, and everything you see pretty much I did it myself. Body, paint, you know, turbo, exhaust, whatever. Some minor stuff like TIG welding and stuff, which, you know, I have my friend do it. You know, alignment, tuning, you know, I don't usually do that, so I have other people help me with that. But that being said, what you have to do is when you do your intercooler, you got to put your bumper on the car, and you got to see what it's touching. See, like it's barely, maybe touching barely right there, if that, you know what I mean? And I can probably just take a little bit from that. See that around the corner? But you don't really, because it clears out the bottom here. So what I did here, see at the top how it's got like a, so it comes right there in the corner. What I did, I cut it flush right there, and I started right from the corner, kind of like tapered it up. See that? See that? Right from the corner, it's tapering, and then it goes flat, and then it's tapering back down and again, and it's flat. So if you look at it, it's got that factory lip right there. See that at the top there? And now if you look at it, you can't even tell it's being cut. It looks all factory OEM. Can't tell, it's nice and clean, you know? It does touches barely if I press on it on that corner, which is okay. You know, I'd rather have it touching that corner right there than anything else, but it doesn't unless I press on it. Now it's gonna be a splitter and a front lip that's about like 5 inches long, which is gonna clear the gap right there, of course. Unless I was gonna put the OEM lip, which I do have, but I'm not gonna run it. So that being said, it's gonna look good with that lip on it. So that's kind of the filming on that. So now what we gotta do is just kind of like fab up with the piping. I'm very anal about how my piping is on the engine bay. As you know, the K-series are very known for like everything just kind of running everywhere. So my idea when I do this is to try to tuck everything as much as you can. This is kind of like your kitchen, you know what I mean? You want to have everything nice and clean, organized. Some people say that, you know what I mean? Also, it kind of speaks a little bit about the builder. So when you pop the hood, it shows everybody like, wow, dude, this guy actually, you know, did it pretty cool, you know what I mean? This guy did it pretty awesome, you know what I mean? Everybody's kind of different about that. But that's just me. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bumper and everything else, kind of have a little bit more easy access, kind of see it better. But that's kind of what we're gonna work on. So we got the saw. I'm gonna have to tape the saw right there so that she doesn't get the pipe scratched up. And then we got a whole bunch of 90s and 45s. I do have some 3-inch because the throttle body is a 3-inch. So we're gonna do a 3-inch to reducer. I would like to go with the 3-inch, go down and then reduce it to 2.5 instead of go reducing from 3-inch to 2.5. It looks kind of weird. So I'd rather do a 3-inch to probably right about here or some, and then reduce it so it actually looks clean. And then I have to do the blow-off valve, and I'm gonna have to do the bunk for the air temp sensor, which is gonna be this one right here. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on here. So we're gonna go ahead and tape that up, and we're gonna have to cut a whole bunch of pipes. I'm gonna have to take this blade off. This is a metal blade that I have on my saw. This blade is not gonna work for the aluminum. So when you cut aluminum, you gotta cut very straight edge. And this right here will do it. See that? I even put on it out right there so I don't mess up. See this blade right here? This blade will cut very straight and sharp. The more sharp the cuts are, the better the welds are going to be, because the more flat you cut the piping, the better it's going to be for when you weld it, you know what I mean? Wow, doesn't that look good, guys? Doesn't that look good? Look at that, dude. Pretty good, right? And it's gonna be a backdoor setup. It's gonna be nice and clean, everything right here, instead of running underneath and over. You know, when you look through this hole right here, you're not gonna see anything. See, that's gonna be nothing there. Everything's running through the bottom there, so kind of cool. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tape that up right there, the saw, and figure out how I'm gonna run this, because some people like to put an elbow 90, which looks kind of cool, you know, to put a 90, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you got another 90 and then go straight down, another offset. I'd rather kind of like maybe put like a 45 or some, you know, put like a 45, you know, kind of a little bit, and then an offset, you know, like, gotta make sure it's not gonna hit the shifter or nothing, you know what I mean? You gotta see, very important right there. When you go down with the turbo, you don't want to touch that, because see that? It's gonna hit that. So you kind of want to do it. But that's kind of what we got going on. So again, shout out to Vibrant Performance. Appreciate you guys. Big support towards my build. So you know, we're gonna have to run the Vibrant catch can. That's gonna be another fab work. We're just gonna put it right here. You know, we got the overflow mounted, which is another overflow. We got it nice and tucked in there. Pretty cool. Catch can is gonna be right here. I want the towers exposed. That's kind of my main idea. So when you look at my setup, nothing is in the way, you know what I mean? Everything's kind of nice and tucked, you know? Even this throttle body cable, I'm gonna have to run it like, kind of like that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put a bracket or something right there on the cable. I don't want the cable right in front of the turbo, you know? But even for the turbo, I got like a nice turbo screen, which is this one right here. I'm not sure quite how I feel about this, but it does look kind of cool because it's got the black and the silver, and it kind of matches everything I got going on over here. So I mean, it's kind of close to that radiator cap right there, see that? But what do you guys think? I mean, that looks kind of cool, right? I can always trim just one corner. Where actually where this is going to be sitting, and then paint it black so actually you won't see it, you know what I mean? So that way it doesn't touch at all, you know? But I think that's pretty cool. What do you guys think, huh? That's when I'm driving, so when I go to a car show, oh my goodness, see? I already kind of nicked it right there. But we'll go to car show, take it out, you can see the turbo inside. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to trim this area right here to make it fit nice. But this is my first time test fit on the engine since I got the turbo on there. But yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. So just hang tight. I gotta get some stuff set up here. Sorry about the fan. It's like 95 degrees. It's probably like 110 degrees humidity. It's like super hot. Without this fan up, bro, I'll be sweating like crazy. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. No worries. Maybe we do.
Probably should get some coffee.
See that? Nice and cut straight. Got your tape right there. And I got my air hose. I can just blow it off the metal shavings. So what I got going on here, I'm gonna do on the turbo, I'm gonna do a 22 back to back. And I'll show you guys in a second here after I cut it all off. Yeah, buddy. So what I did, I cut a 45 and a 25. I cut the 45 quite a bit actually. See that how much I cut this one? It's not bolted up, but just kind of barely standing there. But you see how much I cut off of that? That's a lot, right? So that being said, got the 45 and then I cut a little bit at the 25. And then it's barely touching right there, but I think I can just work with that. You know, the coupler's looking good. See that? It's got flexion. See that? So motor shifting back and forth. You got that. You got this silicone right here. You know what I mean? You know, I could technically just run all the way down and put a V-bend there at the bottom. You know what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? I can just put on that 45 right there and just kind of put a V-bend right there. But that's just gonna like prolong everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Maybe I could do that. Maybe I should just do that. You know what I mean? Put that vengeance at the bottom there, since actually you can see it. You know what I mean? But in order to do that, I gotta tape this up right here, and I gotta tape that to that, so that way I can have it all said and done. You know what I mean? But that won't be a bad idea. What do you guys think, huh? So I'm talking about put a V-bend at the bottom instead of this plate spot. But the thing is, when the motor rocks back and forth, there's not really a whole lot of giving because there's no silicone. I mean, those things are nice, but if it just rubs against each other, you know, that being rubber right there, it gives a lot of movement. You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool, you know. But what do you guys think? It's pretty clean, right? Now we're gonna have to work with the 3-inch. Gotta bring that 3-inch over here and then down in there. So that's kind of what we're working with next. Yeah, buddy, come on with it. So there you go. I used that 3-inch cone from 3-inch reducer to 2.5. I got a small offset right here, That's a 90 to a 45. I got a 45 to a 25 up in there. What do you guys think? I got both of them straight coming down, so when you look at the turbo setup, it's nice and clean. No pipe really kind of taken away from the turbo, you know? Because I like when you look up, I like to see the turbo. This is gonna be painted black. You know, I'm gonna paint this black, so actually kind of take away a little bit of the silver, because it's too much silver. So I'm gonna paint these from the woods over black, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of how it looks. I'll probably put the blow-off valve right here, right center. The blow-off valve is going to be sitting right here, you know, just like that. And then I'm going to have the intake sensor, and the intake sensor is probably going to be like right about here, and I'll show what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to drill that pipe in order to get to that point. Where is the intake sensor? From K-tune. There you go. This is gonna have to be welded on. And I need the blow-off valve bung, which is that right there. That's a blow-off valve bung right there. So I'm gonna have to drill that next. So these two right here. So I'm thinking like thinking like that. What do you guys think? That'd be kind of cool, huh? Right center, right there. Bam. That'd be kind of cool, huh? Blow valve right there. And then this one. This is gonna be the intake sensor. I'm thinking to do it like maybe like that. Maybe in the back side so you don't see it. You know, I like to maybe do it like that. But it's kind of next to the blow valve, so I don't really like that. I kind of like to tuck it a little bit. So, you know, maybe do it right here like that. Kind of tucked a little bit, you know. That'll be clean. So when you look at the front of the turbo, you don't see another sensor, you see blow valve. And when you look over here, you know, be like right there. See, I'm thinking kind of a little bit, kind of like right there. It's kind of hitting a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. It's getting there slowly. Yeah, buddy.